Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley and this is video log number 49. So I've started off myself a little Flat Earth TV show, if you want to call it that, on YouTube called Flat Earth UK. And it started off with me just doing a piece to camera. And my very first interaction with anybody on the show was with Robin Poe. So there's a very, important place in my heart for Robin, because had she have not asked me a few Flat Earth questions on the first Flat Earth UK, it would have been a really poor show. It wouldn't have been a Google Hangout. So to do my first Hangout with her was quite a special moment. And throughout the show, and even before the show began, we were plagued with technical difficulties. So the computer would say that things had become disconnected when they hadn't, and various other things that I faffed with to try and get the show running smoothly. But it would kick me out of the Google Hangout page, and Robin would lose sound, and so on and so forth. But we got it, together after an hour of faffing around beforehand, and obviously we were chatting Flat Earth at the same time and talking about satellites not being real, and the gravity on the ISS making absolutely no sense. And while we were having the technical difficulty, we sort of said, well, we'll see how it goes tonight. Let's just bring up Antarctica and see how it goes at that point. So, shock horror, when we get to the stage that we start to discuss a bit of Antarctic goodness, the feed starts to play up. So it kept on cutting out at my end and saying that we had 4 viewers, then 10 viewers, then no viewers, then 2 viewers. So it was a bit of a tricky decision to make. Do you stop, cut the feed completely, and carry on at a later date and accept that you have technical difficulties you can't overcome? Or do you pray for the best and sort of think, well, the show says it's running, it says it's going out live, and my wife was monitoring it, and she kept on getting the feedback every time she refreshed, as did some of the people who commented in the feed. For the people who had enough patience to sit around, hopefully you had something else on at the same time while you were chatting away in the feed. I could see your comments, and I knew what was going on. It's just frustrating, I know my equipment sound because it worked. That entire hour-long interview, which would have been a lot longer had it, not had to have a line drawn underneath it, would have or seemed to be working absolutely perfectly on both mine and Robin's computer, which is disappointing to say the least. All you really want to do in any of these shows is talk about Flat Earth. That's it. That's the only name of the game. I mean, maybe the answer is to set up a Twitch account. After having 2 sets of technical difficulties pretty much along the same lines, and then see the quote-unquote processing happening at YouTube's end, only for what they claim is a 1 hour and 1 minute video being hacked down to 15 minutes, or what was a 3 hours and 5 or 3 hours and 6 minutes be hacked down to 55 minutes. You think, it takes a lot of work to sort of make these shows happen. Just to have it erased is really disappointing. And as Math Powerland pointed out, these things are all wiretap friendly. We give these people access to our phones and our computers, and we grant them permission to essentially mess around with what we're doing. So I can't really moan, but by the same token, I'd much rather just have my show and be able to talk Flat Earth with these people in peace. But that's not the name. That's not the name of the game with Flat Earth. We're tackling a controversial subject. So in some ways, I'm really pleased. The more we talk about Antarctica and the nonsense that is the globe, and the more people like Robin Poe and Brian Mullen point out that, sorry, heliocentrists, your maths simply doesn't work out. And people like Robin will carry on taking notes, and they will keep shouting it from the rooftops, whether or not the programs that facilitate this allow us to or not. So yeah, I can make my video logs, and while it would be, I don't know, a good idea to go through all the great points that Robin and I had, I think I'd much rather just take the video down and try again. Why not? I've got my notes, my little introduction script. Anybody who's watching it and hears me repeat the same things, tough. We had a go and we failed, so I'm all for having another go. And yeah, maybe we need to put some further monitoring in place, because it seems even if you monitor it, it gives off the illusion that it's working when it isn't. So yeah, disappointing but bittersweet. I'm glad we're getting under their skin. I'm just going to talk about Antarctica even more. Why the hell not? I've been Nathan Oakley. I'll see you in the next video.